Hello, and welcome to Mario Party 64, a ROM hack of Mario 64 by MrComit. It's like Comet with an I instead of an E, or Commit with a single M. So what is this? This is a ROM hack of Mario 64 to introduce the boards, the delight, the mini-games of Mario Party 64, which it's not actually called that. The first one is just called Mario 64. And as you can see here, we start off in the starting village, which is a representative of the hub, the menu of Mario Party, the first one, which I actually am not super duper familiar with. I never owned that one. I had friends who owned it, so I got to play a little bit at other people's house. So we can come over here and we can see the game shop. We can come in here and we can purchase mini games with tokens, but we don't have any tokens. Now, what is a token? That's a token. A token is different than a coin. A token gives you both a token and 10 coins, but the tokens are like thick coins, which you can use to purchase mini games. Your coins aren't worth diddly squat. Probably worth getting 100 of them to get like the 100 coin star, because this is Mario 64, and I assume that's the way it works. And actually, there's a friend right behind us. If I were to turn around, we can talk to one of our friendly pink bob-ombs, which I believe the only games they ever appeared in were Mario 64, Mario 64 DS, if that one counts, and Mario Galaxy 2. I believe they show up in Mario Galaxy 2. Maybe they have a different version of them. Just giving us a bit of plot for the boards, because I believe in Mario 64 they had like small bits of plot, like this is Mario's Rainbow Castle, the like basic stage from Mario Party 1, and in that game I believe there was something about like the rainbows going away because Bowser's a big mean guy, and I don't know, I shouldn't be talking about that. The Mario Party never owned it, like I said, so not really the thing I should probably be talking about. Over there, there's an interesting pipe with the Mario Party logo on it, which we probably want to check out. But first, let's just run through the rainbow. I keep wanting to call it the Rainbow Cloud or Rainbow Ride, which are different video games. One's Pokemon, one's the Mario 64. Which, I mean, I'm almost correct, but not exactly. We're just gonna come here and grab this first star because we can, and that's the way you're supposed to get things in order. You don't have to, because it's a video game. You're allowed to do whatever you want. But we're going to play this one by the books. We're also going to come by here, find one of those thick coins I was telling you about, the good old tokens, so we'll be able to afford some mini games on our way out. Because there's a thing you can probably see. There's some graphical glitches, which I'm sure is my fault. Either my fault or the fault of the emulator. I would never blame the creators of this ROM hack, because N64 emulators, kind of awful, not very good. And maybe by that I mean Dolphin, the GameCube emulator, is just very good, and just N64 emulators haven't been able to keep up with our good friend Dolphin. So in the README for this, it says that you should use Glide N for your video plugin and use 8 megabytes of memory as your settings to make it work. And I have Glide N 64. I don't know if that's the same. They specifically say, hey, Glide N is different than Glide. And I have Glide N 64, so I just was assuming that was the right one. And there we go. I had a whole lot of trouble with that when I was playing this, just before I started it up, so I could, familiarize myself with it and see, like, hey, how cool is this? And hey, I'm gonna give you a spoiler on my opinion of this, but this is pretty freaking cool. I adore Mario Party. Mario Party is a game I love a whole lot. I haven't owned all of them, but I just really enjoy Mario Party. I'm also really good at them. So good, in fact, while some friends were visiting, I made my friend George, who is normally very, very polite, very, very docile. I won so many games of Mario Party 10 in a row because I like the car Mario Parties. I like all the Mario Parties, and I don't dislike I don't dislike the car ones. And hey, I know that's a controversial opinion, but I think they're fine video games. But I won so many games of Mario Party 10 in a row that he became actually upset with me. Like, I know, like, haha, Mario Party ruins friendships. Like, I've never had someone like you get upset with someone like, oh man, this game's bullshit, but like he was like actually mad with me and carried it into our next games, or he was like just targeting me because he had to work out some anger because I was winning so many games of Mario Party 9. But I enjoy the games a lot. I think they're fun. I know a lot of people, they're dumb RNG fests. where skill is only, a slight part of the equation. But I just enjoy Mario parties a lot, and this really warms my heart. Now, if y'all know anything about me, I'm more of a Wario guy. I adore Wario. I think his games are cool, and I think Mario's a big stinky butt. But even I, coming back to play Mario 64, which is, a classic, can appreciate, like, oh man, this is really good. I will say, if I had two complaints with this ROM hack, I mean, I obviously haven't played the entire game. Well, I say obviously, but you couldn't see my main file because I deleted it before we started playing this. I haven't played the entirety of this ROM hack, but the two complaints I have with it, of the bits I have played, complaints I would say are the tokens. The tokens are a bit strange to me. I'm not exactly sure. Like they're like three. Oh, and if I can kill this guy, he's just got some coins in there for us. We're not going to be getting all the stars. I'm just kind of playing through. Also, there's a warp here that would take us down in that lower area that I jumped to, but I forgot about that warp until this exact moment, and just went for it. I think the tokens could probably be better represented by maybe like a different like coin type. Like obviously blue coins, red coins are already a thing in Mario 64. Like maybe doing purple coins, maybe silver coins. Not entirely sure. Also that coin, like the star coin chip thing earlier where you had to get all the things. I could not do that in my previous playthrough. I just could not move Mario the way he needed to move because I had not played a lot of Mario 64. And by that I mean last time I played Mario 64 was when Mario 64 DS came out, which is a whole different beast. So here's a mini game. I do not remember the name of this minigame, unfortunately, but we recognize this minigame. It's a minigame where you gotta run, you gotta jump, you gotta be good at running and jumping, which makes it a great candidate for a minigame, to translate to Mario Party 64 and Mario 64 in general. Now, unfortunately, my Mario 64 chops, like I said, not entirely up to the snuff, so maybe I won't be able to do this minigame, but I'll give it one more try. I wasn't able to finish it in the other one. Granted, I didn't try to beat it very hard because, as you can see, it has a bit of leeway into getting into it. Like if you lose, it drops you off at the bridge and you have to come back here. Now, I would say like, oh, maybe the designers should have changed that, but I don't know how much control, for a ROM hack they have for like how respawning works, because Mario 64 respawns in like very specific ways. Not sure if that's tied to this or not. I will say though, in a later world, because there are multiple boards, there isn't just this one. They have all 8 boards. I did fail a mini. Oh shit! That was just that perception problem there. I'll give it one more try. I failed a mini game, and then when restarting the world, it immediately dropped me back into the mini game. And I don't know if that was a glitch or if it's like an intentional thing that they changed. Maybe they couldn't change it for this based on how you spawn in here, since you come into this area by looking up at the sun. Maybe this area is just programmed differently because it's based off of the wing cap area in Mario 64, where I believe if you fall in that area, you fall straight into the moat. Maybe I'm confusing it with like the Rainbow Ride adjacent area. I assume they both do that. Maybe it has something to do with that. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to levy that against the ROM hackers, because this is an amazing ROM hack, in my opinion. Let's just play this safe. I would say play that safe, but then I like went into a fugue state and like was not. And we failed because we have to beat it in 16 seconds to do it. That's enough of that. I'm not great at that. So I wouldn't levy that complaint against the creators. I will say my other thing that I would adore if they made possible was a character select in this. Now I know that's an unreasonable ask, but like I said, Mario's a stinky butt. I want to play as Wario, but it's Mario 64. Maybe doing like a Luigi. A Wario would be possible because you could just recolor it. But doing like Mario Party 1 characters like Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Peach, model swapping them straight in would probably be a huge undertaking. Anyway, here's a different level. DK's Jungle Adventure, I believe, is the name. I should have read, but reading. Why would we read? Now, I just adore these areas. I'm a big Banjo-Kazooie fan. I actually didn't play a whole terrible amount of Mario Party 64. I did, of course, finish it. It was like the first 3D game I played. I'm pretty sure when I got my Nintendo 64 was the first one I played. I got quite a few Nintendo 64, not to brag, but I did get quite a few Nintendo 64 games when I first got mine, because I did a Best Buy commercial, and they gave me a Nintendo 64 as part of my payment. So I just got quite a few games whenever I got my Nintendo 64. So they're like, here's games with your thing, and I was like, oh shit, this is so many video games, because I came from a slightly poor, not like super duper poor, but I'm an American, so poor. Household, not super. You understand. You get it. Don't feel bad for me. I was in a Best Buy commercial. You shouldn't feel bad for me. I was lucky. But we had an NES, and I didn't get a new console until the Nintendo 64. So going from NES to N64 was a big deal, especially since the NES was my dad's, and it was just like games he had from college. So it was crazy to both get new games and also get a bunch of games at once. I wish I could remember all that we got. I barely remember time frames and stuff though, so I almost straight up fell off these nanners, and that would have been bad, because then we wouldn't have gotten the star, and I would like the star. I'm not too worried about collecting every single star though. Obviously we could go back into Rainbow Castle, whatever. We could go back into Rainbow Castle and collect more stars there. I assume there's 100 coin stars in this, since it's based off Mario 64. I assume that's already baked into the engine. I'm not sure how hard that would be to change or to remove or whatever. I'm also not doing a great job at this. This is something I actually think is really clever. You can see the camera kind of clipping through here. I'm not saying the camera clipping is clever or anything. That's just Mario 64 baby. But the background they're using here is like a cave background from Bowser in the Dark World. Or I always assumed it was a cave, but it is called Dark World. I don't know, maybe it's a weird translation of like, oh yeah, cave, dark place, Dark World. I don't know. But like the first Bowser level. But they're using the background here, which I think is interesting and like a good decision, because Mario 60. Oh yeah, we need to do Banana Run. Oh yeah, we didn't do Banana Run because I fell off. Duh. What was I trying to say? Oh, I think it's smart because Mario 64 didn't have a jungle background. So what are you gonna use for the background here? Oh, you can use green, and if you look, obviously it's stalactites or whatever the opposite sky one is. I don't know which one's which. It doesn't matter. But it's green, so it's like, oh yes, jungle, green. There you go. Oh, I never noticed the monkeys have little hearts on their butts. Obviously it's their butt, but it's cute. If we could talk to this monkey, which talking in Mario 64, like I said, Mario 64, I haven't played it in a long time. Just gives you advice. Like these monkeys here are actually very, very helpful. I just gunned for that first monkey in the mission that we did, monkeying around, because I knew that was like a monkey that runs away, and if you're able to get it, you get a star. And actually that monkey is very easy to catch. I remember the monkey in Mario 64 being very difficult, and not wanting you to grab that monkey. The monkey not enjoy being grabbed. This monkey is slowed down, which I appreciated, because like I said, I was not able to get the grab the 5-star chip things on my first attempt, because just, I don't know, I couldn't make Mario move the way I wanted him to, because I'm so used to later Mario games, and or it could be a weird thing with the N64 emulator and my control stick not agreeing with each other. It could be so many things. I'm just going to assume it's my fault, because Mario just probably moves differently than I'm expecting. I'm used to Mario Odyssey and stuff, where it's like much more polished, a lot of more the future of analog sticks, where I think it's just the difference between an N64 analog stick and the other one. Actually, I'm trying to think what the 5th mission is in here. I think the 5th mission, I'm not sure if it'll allow us to do it because we haven't unlocked it. Sometimes the Mario 64 levels have states where you have to come in on a certain state change. I believe only a few levels do that. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, it's been a long time. But there's the mission for the 5th one, I believe, wanted us to blow up a box, like this box, if we were able to find a bomb, which this monkey's like, hey, if you can get an explosive, you can blow up this box. But I ran around the level and I couldn't find a bomb, which maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough. But I gave up on looking hard enough and just said whatever. And also I didn't actually check under here, because we come back here, there's another ramp And I checked under this ramp because that gave me like big Banjo-Kazooie energy, like, oh, this is where they would hide a thing, thinking there might be one of those thick coins down here, but no thick coins for us to have. But back here, there is a mini game, and I think I was able to do this mini game. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so this one's a little strange. So in Mario Party, or like Mario Party proper, this is like a mini game where you're trying to like break the blocks with like a hammer, and like one person has a hammer and you have to try and steal the hammer from them, I believe. In this one, they're telling you not to get greedy, and if you hit a block that's too big, it will hurt you. The smaller blocks, however, have coins in them. So like if I hit that one, like it hurt me, which is bad. But in Mario 64, I believe coins heal you, assuming that hasn't changed for this version of the game. So we can like hit the bigger block and then come hit some smaller ones to heal. Because I believe the star, I'm not sure if it's hidden randomly in one of these, but when I was playing this the first time, I just hit like the blocks in order of like what I thought the size was, and then eventually I ran out of the smaller boxes and just started hitting the bigger ones, and just lucked out hitting the star before I died. I'm guessing it's just hidden in one of those. Maybe it's randomized, maybe it's not. Doesn't really matter. What does matter, however, is we were told that we had enough stars to break the lock on the pipe at the top. I do not remember anymore if we looked at the pipe at the top when we started this video, because hey, what is a memory? Do you remember things? Because I sure don't. But we come up here and this would have had a 5. Actually, we should probably go in there. Why not? Would have had a 5 star lock on it, stopping us from getting there until we had 5 stars, which I think is neat, because there weren't any 5-star there weren't pipe blocks in Mario 64 from my memory. But like I said, it's been a minute, so I could be totally wrong. And also, my most recent I did that bad. My most recent memory, that's Mario 64 DS, which changes quite a few things. See, so we get spawned right outside this pipe, which I know in Mario 64, like whenever you get defeated by Bowser, I believe it drops you just outside the pipe. So maybe I'm, like I said earlier, like with my problem with like the spawning in thing, maybe it's just like a thing determined like by the game that would have been, harder to change with just a ROM hack. Like, I don't know how much control these ROM hacks have. Obviously, they have a fair amount of control over that, but there are a lot of things, like, just speaking from experience from, like, programming and stuff, like, a lot of things are really hard to change, even if you have full access to the code. And a ROM hack, it is a hack, so, obviously, that they won't have full control of anything, and I can't believe I'm having such a hard time with this. I was able to do this on my first go when I was playing this, by my lonesome, and now all of a sudden I'm no longer able to do it. I was about to say, but now we're good, but obviously, this could still go wrong, and there we go. Also, I don't know what it is about this texture, but this texture gives me big Banjo-Kazooie energy. It's probably just the green, reminding me of Spiral Mountain. Banjo-Kazooie has a lot of like messy green things like that, and we're actually going to continue to save. It doesn't really matter. And we can see here we have a second hub. Actually, before I leave, there's more worlds down here. There's gonna be another boss once we get 20 stars, and just to pique your interest, because we were just gonna take a quick look at this. I don't want to play too much, but we'll just go ahead and we'll pop into Yoshi's Fruit Island. I don't remember the name of this level at all. Yoshi's Tropical. I would say that's a pretty close guess. So this is a fun one. We come over here, we can talk to the Koopa, if you can figure out how to talk to him. I think you have to talk to him from a specific side. I wasn't able to talk to him until, I don't know, talking in Mario 64, are you supposed to punch them, or are you supposed to jump? I think you're supposed to jump. And he has a cute little, like, dialogue. Hey, it's actually a pipe. And you may be like, what? No, it's a pipe, because I didn't put it on camera, but I noticed this as soon as I started, so I found his like, oh, hey, that thing's actually a pipe. That'll take you to a minigame. And that one's an interesting minigame where you have to, like, fish out the treasure chests from, like, the bottom of, like, a lake. It takes quite a while, though. Oh, something that's also interesting that I feel like they changed is you can hold A and swim very fast. I don't feel like that's a Mario 64, but I'm a Banjo-Kazooie guy, so I'm not sure. Uh-oh, we have to fight somebody. Oh, that's cute. It's a tree. They turned the tree texture. Oh, that's amazing. That is super cute. I enjoy that. And I guess King Thwomp has more health than the normal Thwomps. I guess it's just 3 hits and you're done. Oh, and I thought they would be more of them. Like, we'd have to fight like a bunch of them in a row because we're not babies. We can beat King Thwomp, no problem. That's super cute. This ROM hack's very good. I enjoy it a whole lot. I think it's great, and I'm probably going to be playing more of it. But before we finish off, I just wanted to tease you with the Yoshi's Tropical Island. Because, you know, all 8 boards from Mario 64 are here, and I should actually probably be saving so I can continue playing after this video. Let's go back to the minigame shop. There's a minigame shop in this new area that has different minigames for us. But, you know, I'm going to let that, you know, if your curiosity is piqued, you can go play it. There's a download in the description. I'm going to link the video because there's like the creator has a video up with a link to the thing, which I believe has been updated. Or I believe it's the most recent one. I hope it is. It's the one that I'm playing. So if this isn't actually the most recent one, that would be a shame. And before actually we go play mini games and finish off this video, let's come in here. We can come into the bank, and I don't understand. Okay, so I understand the bank. You know, it's telling us how many tokens we have in each world. You know, like, and actually, does Mario 64 do that? Because like, yeah, Mario 64, you can check you know, like how many things you have in each world. But I guess because tokens weren't like baked into that system, it was easier to have a NPC be able to tell you. But like that NPC exists in like the next hub world as well, which I guess seems a little redundant because it's like, hey, you know, they're already, you could just go back to the first one, but I guess traversing the world could be annoying. Okay, so I'm just editing this in post. I meant to come in here, and then my brain short-circuited, as it is wont to do. Its natural state. Its natural state of being is not being good. But if you come into what used to be the options house, I believe, for Mario. Oh, there's just options here. We can come and talk to this toad. This toad will allow us to change, you know, things like, you know, our D-pad sensitivity or sound options. But we can talk to this toad, and this toad has something interesting to say to us if I can talk. This TV sucks. All it does is display the names of random people I've never heard of. You've never even heard of, actually. But yeah, you can come up to this TV, and you'll get credits. Obviously, I shouted out MrComit at the beginning of the video. But you can come in here and you can learn about who made the tools, who did patches, who ripped models and stuff. You learn a lot of stuff. It's also in the, there's a credits .txt. I was gonna say text file, but then I was like, no, I have to say .txt. There's a credits text file in the download for this, so you can come in here and see all the people who worked hard on this game. We'll come in here. We'll go ahead and buy the wing cap thing, which I'm actually not going to play the wing cap one because I'm bad. We'll play the wing cap one specifically because I am bad at it actually. Just so I can show y'all. I've never been great at the Mario 64 flying mechanic. I was a Banjo-Kazooie person, so that one's much easier for me. So let's go ahead and play. We'll go ahead and do wing cap, and this just drops us off into a version of the wing cap. Let's see if can I? Oh, damn! I managed to do that. I was not expecting that. Which, you know, there's still the blocks that unlock the other caps for us, and then yeah, it works just like it does in Mario. It's still Mario 64, so of course it still works out how it does in Mario 64. But I always remember having a real hard time with these, like, fly and grab all the things. For some reason, I feel like they made this easier in Mario 64. Maybe it has something to do with the touch controls. Maybe they added something. Maybe it's just been a long time since I played Mario 64 DS, and I just not remembering at all. But Mario also, he feels like he flies so fast, and I'm not sure if that's a difference in this or if I'm just bad. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down because we've already lost so much altitude, and gaining altitude is so hard with the wing cap. Luckily, it drops us off here. We can come in here and we can play Bobsled Run. Bobsled Run. This is actually like a genius idea for, like, you know, a mini game translation, because, like, hey, there are already slides in Mario 64, and Bobsled Run is already basically just a Mario 64 slide, but you do it with your friends. I didn't talk to the, or read what most people would say, the signpost back there, but the signpost would be like, hey, you got to finish this in 55 seconds if you want the star, which is similar to what we saw in Rainbow Jump. I don't know. Oh, shoot. I actually don't know the name of the run and jump minigame from Mario Party 1, the one that I did bad at earlier. Y'all probably know. You're smarter than me. You know, you had to finish that one in 16 seconds, which is definitely the reason why I jumped into the hole earlier, and not just because I'm bad. And actually, these speed up pads, nothing like that existed in Mario 64. And while they are a little like chaotic, I feel like they magnetize you to it just a little bit, so it isn't like entirely like, oh god, how do I stay on this? Because they're all like on the like edges, so if you were to mess up, you'd fly off immediately. So you come here, you play mini games, you get bonus stars. We already got a star from mini game. There's also this red vase. If we were to talk to this old toad guy, he'd tell us that if we were able to enter the red vase, there's a harder version of the boss we fought earlier, because this was nope, we're probably not gonna make it, because this is like the bosses of this are just hard mini games, which is a fun idea. And I don't think anything's changed about the oh, and it drops you off up here. Interesting. I don't think anything's changed about the layout. It just has less time, whereas before it gave us 30 seconds in the OG version. This version only gives us the 20. I'll give it one more go, and then we'll call it quits for this video. So yeah, I think this is a super. I'll give it one more go. I think this is a really great ROM hack. I know I've complaining about like the tokens maybe could have been represented by something else, and the insane like, oh, they should put a character select in here. I understand that the character select one, an insane request. I just I've already said it before. Mario is a butt. Wario is a handsome butt, and that's all we have to think about really in these times is the handsome butt of Wario, which will allow us to get to the end. And man, the time on that is actually pretty tight. Also, I'm not sure if like the key appearing earlier, once again, if that's like a thing. Like I assume it's like, oh, because you normally fight a boss there, it was intended to give you the key, so maybe that appeared. I don't know. Oh, and hey, Mario even like tosses the key around. So that's it. That's Mario Party 64. Obviously, there's a lot more stuff here. There's 8 boards. There's 70 stars. So you can come. You can play some of this. There's a download in the description, and it tells you how to install it and like hack your ROM thing. Mario Party 64. Yahoo!